First, the Galaxy Tab 10.1, now the Galaxy Nexus. The Next web cites a Reuters report that says Apple has won a preliminary injunction on U.S. sales of the Galaxy Nexus. At issue this time was an Apple patent that covered unified information search and retrieval, a system probably better known to consumers as Siri. District Court Judge Lucy Koh said Apple had proven irreparable harm thanks to a, quote, long-term loss of market share that Siri represented. Immediately following the ruling, Apple issued its now familiar statement on events. VentureBeat picked it up. It's no coincidence that Samsung's latest products look a lot like the iPhone and iPad, from the shape of the hardware to the user interface and even the packaging. This kind of blatant copying is wrong, and as we've said many times before, we need to protect Apple's intellectual property when companies steal our ideas. Samsung has yet to comment, but Engadget imagines Samsung's going to fight this one the same way it plans to appeal the Galaxy Tab ruling, especially with the stakes as high as they are. Samsung will no doubt try to appeal the dispute. There's a lot more urgency here than with the outgoing Tab 10.1. The Galaxy Nexus is still a current generation device and just became Google's Android 4.1 phone flagship. GigaOM explains it's the phone Google uses to spread the purest Android experience available, or rather the phone it used to use. From Samsung's standpoint, the news might not be quite as bad, given that it just introduced the Samsung Galaxy S3 to great fanfare. But from Google's standpoint, the news isn't very welcome. If the injunction holds, Samsung won't be able to sell those phones in the U.S. But Foss Patents wonders, is the Galaxy S3 next? Apple could angle for the same shutdown, based on the same patent. If Apple moved for a preliminary injunction against the S3 now over the Siri patent, it would be very likely to win, but it would have to accept a postponement of the trial of its first lawsuit against Samsung. This is a tough choice to make, but a motion over only one patent wouldn't necessarily cause a huge delay. In the meantime, The Verge points out the fate of the Galaxy Nexus in the U.S. market rests at trial. If Apple continues and wins on these infringement issues at trial, the preliminary injunction could transform into a permanent injunction. However, if Samsung defeats Apple's claims in front of a jury, the injunction would end. So for the moment, if you were considering a Galaxy Nexus, you're out of luck. And those developers who got freebies from Google at I/O got them just in time. For Newsy, I'm Nathan Byrne. Multiple sources, the real story.